Hello my frugal friends, welcome back to our place. If you are new around here, if we haven't had the chance to hang out before, my name is Nikki. I'm a mum of 3, 2 of which still live at home with us, so technically I suppose we are a frugal family of 4 at the moment. And here on my channel I love sharing all of the tips and tricks that have helped our family budget better, demolish all of our debt, skyrocket our savings, and still have heaps of frugal fun along the way. So if that sounds like something that is right down your alley, then I would love for you to join in all the frugal fun around here. You might even want to think about maybe hitting that little subscribe button down below. It is the best way to be notified when my new content comes out. So let's jump into today's video. What I want to do today is go through my fridge, make sure that we are using up all of the perishable produce that is in there. I really don't like wasting anything because basically if we waste food, then that is just money down the drain. And if you have big financial goals, if you are trying to pay off your debt, if you're working towards some big savings goals, or if you just want to be frugal and faithful with your money, then you know what? Letting fresh produce rot in your crisper, it's just money down the drain. All right, along with that, we are going to get ready for grocery shopping tomorrow. So I'm going to do a bit of a stock take and a meal plan. But first, before we jump in and get ready for next week, how about we have a look back at the meals that we created this week and you guys can see what we ate at our place. All right, well, we kicked off last week with a little bit of frugal fun at our place. We like to have one night a week where we kick back, have a little bit of fun, and let our kids pick what we're going to have for dinner. We call it Friday night fun night, and having 3 kids, it was good to rotate through and they all got to pick their favorite dinner at least once a month that we'd all sit down and enjoy as a family, and it became a little bit of a tradition. These days we really only have one little kid still with us, that is Charlotte, so she predominantly gets to pick what we have on Friday nights. And last week she picked hot dogs, so we did dogs in buns. Lots of fun, really quick and easy. I like to put a little bit of greenery in mine, so as you can see I've chucked some baby spinach in underneath, but everyone else just went with the traditional hot dogs with a bit of tomato sauce, cheese and mustard. We also did a chicken satay, and I really like this easy chicken satay recipe from 4 ingredients. All you need aside from the chicken or the protein, because you could use beef or tofu or anything you wanted in your satay. The satay sauce itself is simply peanut butter, some sort of cream. I like to use coconut cream because it is shelf stable, which means I can keep it in the pantry, but you could just use traditional cream as well, and a curry powder. You could use a Thai green curry powder, a Thai red curry powder, or you could do what we do and just use Keen's curry powder and it works just fine. I also like to throw in some veggies, so I was just using whatever we had on hand. In this case, it's a bit of carrot, broccoli and some green beans in there, and it's a quick and easy meal. Speaking of quick and easy meals, this beef stroganoff is another really easy recipe to pull together. I actually got this recipe from HelloFresh and I like it because it is very simple and uses things that for the most part I have on hand in the pantry. So to make the sauce, we do need to have some fresh mushrooms, coconut cream. Again, you could use traditional cream or sour cream, but I like to use the coconut cream, some sweet paprika and some soy sauce and some beef stock. And those things together make the sauce, and then we're going to throw in some beef. In this case, I have used some porterhouse steak that I had in the freezer and I've sliced it up, but you could also do this recipe with beef mince or ground beef and it would work just as well. This sauce works really well on pasta, or you can do what we decided to do this week and serve it with mashed potato and some veggies. I like this recipe. It's quick and easy to pull together, and actually this sauce made enough for us to put some sauce aside and throw it over some pasta and chuck some meals in the freezer as well. So we did get some extra serves out of that one that we've put aside to use later on down the track when nobody feels like cooking. As the weather warmed up a little bit last week, we did some chicken Caesar wraps. This was nice just to have everything ready, put it all on the table, and people can just build their own wraps to their own liking. I chose to shred the chicken. I shredded 2 chicken breasts and then fried off some bacon, stirred through some mayo and Bob's your uncle, and then the rest is just build your own dinner night. And then towards the end of the week, we did a use it up meal. This week I chose to do a minestrone, which I did a double batch of, and again got some serves into the freezer to use later on down the track. And I really like minestrone because it's a very basic soup that you can then adapt with whatever vegetables you have in the fridge that you want to use up. So this was loaded with veggies. This has got carrot, celery and potato in it, as well as some kale and some baby spinach, and of course tin tomatoes and some beans and some pasta to make it more minestrone like. Then just some simple Italian herbs to give it that Italian kick at the end. Now we chose to serve this with some homemade garlic bread. I used some of the leftover rolls that we had from our hot dog night, and I topped them with a herb butter and some cheese. I used Italian seasoning and some Tuscan seasoning, which does have a little bit of garlic in it to give it a bit of a garlic hit. Then topped it with some cheese and stuck it under the grill, and it was amazing to have alongside soup. All right, so before I sit down and work out what meals we're going to have next week, I actually want to go through and clean out the fridge, make sure that anything that needs to be used up is either going onto the meal plan next week or it is going into the freezer if I can freeze it, so that I'm not wasting anything. So let's jump in and do those jobs real quick now, and then I'm going to sit down, have a look at what's on special at Coles this week. I do need to finish out my current Flybuys offer, which is a 4-week spend at Coles, $70 a week for 4 weeks. And at the end of that, we are eligible for 10,000 bonus points, which is equivalent to $50 cash back. So this week, it is the last week of October. The funds in our grocery envelope are starting to hit the leaner side, but we've still got quite a bit left in there. We're going to have some cash left over at the end of October, which is fantastic. And what I really want to do at this point is use up everything that we have on hand. I'm going to go quite lean on this grocery shop. I'm going to plan around the things that we already have on hand in the fridge, freezer and pantry, and I'm going to fill in the gaps with our grocery shop tomorrow. So let's jump in, clean out the fridge and get ready to go grocery shopping. All right, lots to do in the fridge, lots of containers. So let's jump in, get organized, let's prep, let's get some stuff into the freezer, make sure we don't waste anything. All right, so these are sugar snap peas that have come from our garden. These are homegrown. This is probably the last of the haul for this year. I'm going to go and pull those sugar snap pea vines out, and we're going to plant some cucumbers. So we are going to use up the last of what is here, and next week I will freeze anything that is left over. So we're going to put this on the menu either in some meals or as snacks. I need to go and wash these and check them and make sure that they're good to go. They all look pretty decent. So wash them up. I'm going to get these into this container here. I'm going to tip these guys out and make sure that these guys go on top and the fresh guys go on the bottom. And we're going to be right for our sugar snap peas next week, and whatever is left over at the end of next week is going to go into the freezer. Right, and speaking of freezing, these are some sugar snap peas that I have frozen previously. I've never tried freezing sugar snap peas, so we're going to see how they go, and then next year, if this works really well, next year I'll plant more sugar snap peas and I'll get more into the freezer. But all I did is blanch these. So I got a pot of boiling water to a rolling boil, popped these in, put them on the timer for 2 minutes, let them boil, keep that rolling boil going, and then dunked them into some ice water to stop the cooking as quickly as possible as soon as that 2 minutes were up. And then I laid them all out onto a baking tray in the freezer, flash froze them for 24 hours. And as you can see, they haven't clumped together because they were flash frozen after they were cooked. So there's one bag that we've got ready for this year. Let's see how these go, and I will update you guys a little bit later on after we've actually used some out of the freezer. So this should be an interesting experiment. All right, next up is this celery, and these Tupperware containers do keep the celery fairly fresh for a while, but what I like to do is just give them a check. If they're still firm, I'll leave them in here. But if they're starting to go a bit floppy, like this one, then I'm going to chop them up, get them into a bag in the freezer. Then I can use them later on down the track in anything that requires celery, like a spaghetti bolognese or chili con carne, or anything that you'd want to put celery in. So any that are still firm, we're just going to set aside. The kids can use those for ants on a log, where you fill the celery with peanut butter. Sometimes you can put some sultanas on there as well. They are the ants. And we can use these for snacks. Otherwise, we are going to chop these up and get them in the freezer. Are a little bit more organized in here now, and I do have a little bit of room for our grocery shopping. My goal tonight when I cook dinner is to try and use up what's left in these containers. I have half a red capsicum and some broccoli left over in there. We have some baby spinach in here that needs to be used up, so I'm hoping to get some more out of here tonight, getting ready for tomorrow. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do today is have a quick look at the specials online at Coles. Having a look in the fridge, freezer and the pantry, I can see that we really don't need very much, and I've come up with some ideas for some meals that I can already pull together. But I do want to finish off our current Flybuys offer at Coles this week. So I will be going grocery shopping, even though I could probably get away with not going grocery shopping. So having said that, let's have a quick look at the meals that I have put on our meal plan for this week. All right, so this is my very messy handwriting, but just real quick, I am going to make a potato lasagna, which basically means I'm just going to use potato instead of pasta sheets. And I'm going to use up some of the turkey mince that's in the freezer, the last of the spinach, the last of the mushrooms, and some of the potatoes that I bought last week. I did buy a big 3 kilo bag of brushed potatoes, so I want to make sure that I'm using some of those up. This week, I also noticed that cabbage is on special, so I'm going to make up a big batch of my Nana's secret Kai Ming recipe, which is different to all the other ones out there. This is a bit of a family tradition, this one of those meals that just makes you happy to be at home. So reminds me of my childhood. So we're going to do a big batch of that. I have some casserole beef in the freezer outside, so we are going to do a simple beef casserole with mash and veggies. And Wednesday night, I know that we are going to be out, so I've had a quick look at my calendar to see what's happening. So I'm planning to do a freezer buffet that night, where we're just going to have something that is pre-made in the freezer that we can just heat and eat when we get home. Thursday night, I want to try and make a big batch of something with rice. So I am looking at the chicken and the prawns, and I'm thinking it might be time for a jambalaya. Friday night is our family fun night, and Charlotte has picked fish and chips. So we're going to do homemade chips. I'm going to make a side salad with whatever's left in the fridge at the end of the week. And I'm just going to pick up some fish to fill that one out, and we'll have fish and chips with a leftover use it up salad on the side. And next Saturday, I'm going to do a mushroom and bacon risotto, and that should definitely see us use up all of the mushrooms that I picked up last week. So here's the really interesting thing. Most of those meals are going to be made from things that I already have on hand. I'm pretty much there with most of those meals. I do need to pick up some more fridge staples like milk and cheese, those sort of things that we do go through fairly regularly. But for the most part, these meals will come together from things that I already have on hand in the fridge, freezer and pantry, which is going to make tomorrow's grocery shop interesting. If you would like to see what I pick up tomorrow to finalize our current Flybuys offer, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when my grocery haul video comes out, and you can see everything that I have decided to pick up this week to finish out our Flybuys offer. But you know what? That is pretty much everything that I need to do here today. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what is on the meal plan at your place next week, or what was on the meal plan last week at your place. What meals did you create? What meals did you come up with? Particularly things that are using up the things that you have on hand in the fridge, freezer and pantry. I love those use it up creations. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys have either got planned for next week, or what did you do last week. I love new ideas, hearing what people are doing with different things and different ingredients, because it's always an inspiration when it comes for me next time to plan my meals and work out what I'm going to do with some of these weird and wacky ingredients. So let me know down below. Oh, and don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, why not hit that thumbs up button? I really do appreciate it. It lets me know the kind of content you guys are enjoying and what you would like to see more of. And don't forget, if you would like to see more videos like this, then don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down below so you can be notified when my new videos come out. Alright you guys, well that is it from me here today. I will see you in the next video with my grocery haul when I go grocery shopping tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.